Hey, what's up, guys? Josiah and Wayne here with Enough to Be Dangerous.
How y'all is?
Got a new video, just simply doing a little follow-up to our first video,
Correct.
which was a get home bag, and you're getting back to your bug out bag or your all your stuff that you have set for you, right?
Right. You're back at home.
Your bag at home. Okay. Yeah.
Now-
So. Yeah. Go ahead.
and now you sing the great song, "Should I Stay or Should I Go?" You bugging out or you bugging in? These are things to keep in mind and consider when making that decision.
It's always fun stuff. Yeah. So, in a situation, let's say like power's all gone, and let's say the power went out, and now you're at home, but the power's been out for a day now, and for a full 24 hours, and there's no indication that it's going to come back on anytime soon.
Okay, each decision is going to be scenario based, obviously.
Right. Yeah.
You can what if scenarios till the cows come home.
Right.
This particular scenario, there's questions need to be asked.
Right.
Is there an indication the power will come back on? Is it out just from an ice storm? Is it out from a tornado, natural disaster?
Right.
Or is it out because a solar flare knocked out all of the electronics in this hemisphere? And it's never coming back, or will be several months before it comes back. A lot of different variables and ingredients into the pie.
Right.
The big question is, again, my opinion, is it viable to stay where you're at?
Right.
My experience, my opinion, the best option you have is stay put. Stay where you're at. You know where your house is. You know
Right.
the parameters of your house. You typically know the people around you within 2 or 3 houses any direction.
Right.
What kind of people are they? You've seen them drive in and out. You know if you're in a bad neighborhood or not. If you have a viable option and you can assure your safety, you can assure your security, which is kind of the same as safety, I guess, and survivability. If you can maintain those where you're at, stay where you're at.
Mm-hmm.
Fire, floods, roving hordes. If you're in a 17-story apartment building and you live on floor 16, all those different variables will affect that answer.
Right. My wife and I, we live in an apartment. We're on the top floor at our apartment, and we've kind of talked about it a little bit from time to time. We said, you know what, if something happened where we need to go, more than likely, I mean, we're just gonna we have a set place where we would go in case we needed to or something. If it was just power's out because of an ice storm, obviously, we'd stay there. But if it was like a EMP disaster or something like that, yeah.
Because you have no sustainability.
Right.
You don't have a
there's
way
nothing.
to gather and collect new water. You don't have a
Right.
way to grow sustenance. You have no sustainability where you're at.
Yeah.
In that situation, you would need to go to a more viable location.
Right.
Be
Right.
it a bug out camp, a bug out house, a relative's home
Mhm.
within a reasonable distance.
Right.
So your first option should always be bug in, as they
Right.
say. Another reason you bug in, that's where all your stuff is.
Right.
Your 40,000 rounds of 5.56 that you've collected, your 2 years worth of freeze-dried food, and all that is there. If you don't have to load that up in the car, which if it's an EMP issue,
Yeah.
that car doesn't work. So now you're going to bug out. But here's some things to consider when you're leaving. What happens to all that stuff? Well, guess that roving bands of people trying to help themselves are going to go, they left. I saw them march off, and they're gone. They've been gone 2 or 3 days. I'm going to go and see what they left. And they're going to resupply themselves off of your supply that you spent all that money for.
Mhm.
Congratulations. Thank you very much. Things to also consider, what are you going to carry? You have your bug out bag. Oh, I've got my Bob. Okay, great. How long can you live out of that with nothing extra? How are you going to get to your bug out location if you can't drive? Everyone plans on, I'll take my car or my truck. What if you can't? What if you have to walk?
Walk it always.
Do you have family members who can walk that far? How far
Right.
is it? Is it 2 miles? It's 200 miles. I've got 300 acres, 600 miles up in the mountains, and no one can get. You got to walk there, dude. If you can't get there, it's useless. You don't have it. If you can't put your hands on it, you don't have it.
Oh yeah, and plus, even just thinking about it, if you did decide you're gonna walk out there like 600 miles out to wherever this destination is, the odds of you getting there before somebody else is maybe gonna come across it and be like, this is a great bug out location.
Or decide that you
Yeah.
don't need the stuff you're carrying because they
Right.
didn't have any stuff and now they
Right.
want your stuff.
Right, right. The odds of that happening are so much higher than you even getting before you ever getting there.
Exactly. Not only can you make it, do you have family members that got to go too?
Yeah.
Can your 6-year-old walk 25 miles?
Right.
How much can that 6-year-old carry? How much can your wife carry? Can she walk 25 miles?
Right,
Or
right.
your husband? Can you walk 25 miles? When's the last time you walked 25 miles? Carrying stuff. Okay? You want to know
Yeah.
if it's a viable option to get to your bug out location? Put your shit on your back and go walk. Okay? Walk to your bug out. Tell your wife, I'll see you in 3 days, 8 days, however long you think it's going to take you to get there. Have her drive there, wait for you. Have your cell phone, because you're probably going to call her. Go pick me up, I didn't make it. Ask anyone who's been in the military. You start carrying 40 to 60 pounds worth of gear, you don't. It sucks. Okay? Now you're trying to do it in a semi-tactical situation. You don't want people to see where you're going. You don't want to be followed. You don't want people to intercept you and take your stuff. You've got to maintain the security of your entire crew, be it your wife, your kids, your
Right.
aunts, your uncles, your moms, your dads, whoever's with you. Is this a feasible option?
Right.
Say your car does work.
Yeah.
600 miles, man. But my car runs. There's no electricity anywhere, but my car runs. It's a
Yeah.
power grid failure, not an EMP. Okay, where are you going to get gas? Well, I've been storing gas. I got 300 gallons. How long have you been storing it? 2-year-old gas doesn't work. Is it stored correctly? Is there roadblocks on the way? Is the roads open all the way? Different things like what are you going to do in a mechanical failure of your vehicle? These are things to think of. That's why, in my opinion, bugging in is always your best option.
Right.
The way to look at it, another way, you have linear logic, circular logic, and spiderweb spaghettios. Okay? And that's not an official one. Linear is like, I have problem A, need to get to problem B, the best way is a straight line. Okay? There's no deviations. That's the only way it's going to work. Circular logic is the hole in the bucket Dear Liza song.
Right.
For those of you not familiar, there's a hole in the bucket Dear Liza. Fix it. How am I going to fix it? We'll use straw. Well, the straw is too long. We'll cut it. But the axe is dull. We'll sharpen it. But the stone's dry. We'll wet it. But there's a hole in the bucket. Okay, it all goes back around to the exact same problem. You go, well, here's my solution to the solution problem, back to the original problem. Okay, and then spaghettio spiderweb is the bug out scenario. Okay, I've got to get to here, but this, and this is messed up. Well, I can fix this, and this, not this, but that crosses over into that, and if you draw it out, it looks like a big, huge, gigantic spiderweb spaghettio.
A whole bunch of crap.
It's a bunch of garbage, and it's never going to get you to where you need to be.
Yeah.
Okay. Is bugging out an option? Yes, it is an option. Is it a much more difficult option? Yes, it is. In some cases, it's the only viable option. Your example, sustainability. There's no sustainability. If
Right.
This is going to be very long term.
Right.
Staying in an apartment complex is not
Right.
going to work.
And I mean, like we have food rations for, I'd say between my wife and I, we got at least a week. If we really ration it out, we could probably last at least 2 weeks. But
Okay.
the purpose of my bug out bag was not to it's not to sustain us off of just that bug out bag. It's supposed to so that we have enough whenever we get to the destination we're going to be, which we're hoping it'll take us less than a week to get there. So I guess that's one of those things I might need to rethink. But it's so that we have what we need in order to be sustainable there, and we can get fresh water. We can collect that water. We can purify it. We can hunt for food. We can catch food. We can set snares. Whatever it is we need to do.
Right.
So, yeah.
And hope no one else has the same idea and goes the same spot.
Right. At which point, that's why then defend it. And so.
And another situation in the bug out
Yeah.
that came up last night discussing with my wife. Everyone plans for the time they're there.
Right.
A season that they're in.
Yeah.
My bug out bag is summer based. Okay, great. You bug out August. In Oklahoma, where we're at, it's been known to snow in October. So you bug out in August, it's 110 degrees. That's what you're planned and prepared for. 6 weeks later, you're still living in your little camp in the woods, trying to grow food and do your thing, and it snows. Temperature drops. Are you prepared with just your clothing
Right.
for extreme weather changes? You may be in that bug out location a long time once you go.
Right.
So you have to prepare for summer, winter, rain, freezing rain, all the seasons to come.
Right.
That's just more stuff you got to carry.
Yay.
Because that coat isn't going to grow on a tree out in the woods.
Nope.
So
I mean, that's
these are all things to think about.
right. And one of the ways to try that out is, test it. Once you get your bug out bag, go out. I mean, at the time of filming, it's January right now, so we're gonna go out sometime this month, and we're going to test out our bug out bags, and we're mostly just bringing our bug out bags. We might be bringing some, I don't know, but either way, we're testing that to see, is it gonna suck really bad if we go out on a bug out bag, and what do I need to put in there that I don't have?
And what do I got in there I'm not going to use?
Right. What do I have there?
And we picked a day. Last month, in the middle of the month, we said, this is the day we're going. Boom. From that day forward, we're not allowed to touch our bags. We can't add anything. We can't take anything away.
Mm-hmm.
This is your bag as it sits. I challenge you. You don't have to do it this month. Do it this year. Don't touch your bag anymore. Go to Siri on your iPhone, whatever. Pick a random day. Boom. June 14th. Okay, June 14th, I'm going out for 4 days to test my bug out. That gives you plenty of time to schedule vacation or whatever.
Yeah.
And you know what? On June 14th, if it's pouring ass rain, you're still going. If it's 191 degrees and things are spontaneously combusting outside, you're still going. You don't have an excuse. You don't get to choose. You don't get to say, well, I'd rather wait till next weekend. No, that's the
Right.
day you've committed to. Do not touch your bag. Don't add rain gear. If you get October 14th and you don't have a coat in your bag or rain gear in your bag, you don't get to take a coat of rain gear.
Yeah.
These are not decisions you get to make on the fly.
Right.
So if you pick a date, March 4th, and you go, man, I really needed that in my bag. Why wasn't it in your bag already? If you can
That's a
think
good
of stuff
point, yeah.
you need to add to your bag or shouldn't have in your bag,
Right.
why is it in your bag or why isn't it there already?
Right. Yeah. You're exactly right. Yeah.
You know?
I mean, with I really hope it's not snowing, but if it is snowing,
Ready for snow.
I mean, I noticed one of my number one problems that I might run into is my footwear, because most of the time I have tennis shoes that I wear, and these are not waterproof. So if it's pouring rain or snowing or sleeting, or it's been snowing for a couple of days and now there's foot of snow or something like that on the ground, I bought some waterproof, what was it, like military surplus boots or something like that. So I bought some nicer military surplus water boots, and then I have a little strap where I strap them onto my bug out bag. So it's, even though it's kind of heavy, more than likely whenever I grab my bag, I'm just gonna put those boots on.
I'm wearing. Yeah.
I'm not gonna wear that. They're actually really comfy too. I was happy with that.
So,
But yeah.
these are all things to consider on staying or going. Going is a very hard, very difficult, ugly option. If you can take your bug out bag and go live in the woods for a week, do it. Leave your phone at home. Just tell someone where you're going for safety, and go live out of your bag for a week.
Mm-hmm.
Just do that. At the end of the week, you'll be nuts. I'm just telling you, a week in the woods by yourself, trying to live out of this little bag, it sucks. There's nothing fun about it. There's nothing pretty about it. You can have the greatest bug out shelter in the world, and that's awesome if your vehicle works and you can get there. If your vehicle doesn't work, or there's a natural disaster and your vehicle's gone, now what are you going to do? And people aren't considering this, I don't think. So I got 3 years worth of food in my house and a bug out plan. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Right.
Why would you prepare everything to be where you're at?
Right.
And then also plan to go somewhere else? I understand contingencies, but why not take half of it and put it where you're going to go?
Right.
Split it up.
Yeah.
anyway, it is
Yeah.
stay or go. Your option. Everyone has opinions. My opinion, your best viable option is to stay where you're at.
Right. If you can.
If you can. There's reasons, obviously, you can't, but you need to figure out all the contingencies on not being able to stay there.
Right. Yeah. So that's our video. Stay or go. It's an interesting question to pose. So one thing we want to ask from you guys in the comments, give us a possible situation or 2 or 3 situations, and what would you do here? And because soon we want to do this, we want to be able to answer some of your guys' questions that you give us. So if you're curious about something, you say, hey, I live in this area and it's very remote. Would it be a great situation for me to stay? More than likely, yeah, in that case. But
probably.
But most Americans don't live in a remote area. Most of us live in the city, so.
Or suburb thereof.
Or suburb, yeah, right. So leave your comments, ask us about those things, like and subscribe, and we're gonna keep doing more videos, and we hope you guys love them. So.
Ciao.